And welcome back to Say It As Is with Brandon and Tyler. We are in a different studio this time around, but we are in the iHeart Studios. So cool. We are here to do the MLB playoff brackets, or rather discuss what we put together that I uploaded to the social medias yesterday. So, Tyler, let's start with yours. You have the one with the Cubs winning the NL Wildcard Series against San Diego.
Yes. So, reason why I kind of said the Cubs over the Padres is because I've seen about the history of those two teams. The Cubs have recently, they've been more dominant and more like hungry for wanting to be in at least the NLDS. I know they want some Cub fans out there, they want to be in the World Series, but that ain't going to happen this year.
No.
What I'm saying is that the Cubs statistically for that series are kind of the better team, but we'll see how San Diego does. I want San Diego to win, but I wouldn't be mad if the Cubs win, because I then want the Milwaukee Brewers to kick the shit out of the Cubs.
Naturally. And of course, with like San Diego and the Cubs, the Brewers actually have a losing record this season against both teams, where the Cubs, I'd like to say, they lost the season series by like one game, but they lost they lost 4 games and won 2 games against San Diego. However, with one of those games, I'm a firm believer Milwaukee would have won if the umpire wasn't garbage and missed 25 calls. And exactly the ABS challenge. And yeah, if there was ABS challenge, Milwaukee would have won that game.
Oh, they would have. They totally would have won that game if there was the ABS? Challenge. Yeah, ABS challenge.
Yeah, and then naturally, I also had a joke bracket where the Cincinnati would beat LA. Not going to happen. It's just kind of funny.
You know what? We'll go through each stages. Talk about your joke bracket.
Yeah, so my joke bracket, I have I have Cincinnati beating LA in the wild card series. That could have happened.
No.
But the only reason why it's like, hey, let's do this as a joke bracket for this one is Cincinnati's one of the hotter teams in the league along with Cleveland. So I was like, hey, let's do this. It'll be hilarious. And plus, we don't really like LA around these here parts.
No, we do not like the Dodgers. What I was going to say is, yes, the Reds, while interesting, remember who was in that spot. It was the Mets. Lol, Mets are eternal.
Oh, yeah. That's such a glorious meme. And, like, the Dodgers, they're just like, yeah, they're the Dodgers. They're probably going to win that series. But if the Cincinnati wins, it'll be the funniest thing on the planet.
I would expect it to be the funniest thing on the planet. I mean, I'm going to laugh if the Dodgers shit the bed.
Oh, if that happens to the Dodgers, or if that goes 3 games, I will laugh.
You know what? I'd laugh because the Reds are statistically the worst team probably in the playoffs.
83 wins, just like the 06 Cardinals.
Yeah, so they're the worst team in the playoffs. But if you think about it, the worst team could surprise you.
Yes. Because other teams playing down to their level, which allows them to just absolutely whoop them.
Right.
So it's not out of the question, but it's hilarious.
And come to think about it, if you think about it, the Dodgers are going to get cocky.
Yes.
They're going to get very cocky because they're going to go, well, we're playing the Reds. So they're going to get cocky. They're going to go, well, we can whoop the Reds all the way to next Sunday, but I feel like the Reds will at least maybe win one game.
Yeah, well, like
They won't get swept.
No, it's gonna be funny, like either way. And then we have
so
Cleveland and Detroit for the AL wild card game.
Yeah, let's go to the AL. So Cleveland and Detroit, it would have been flipped if Detroit didn't lose all those games. They tanked pretty hard.
Oh yeah, they had the best record in baseball going into the All-Star break, and then as of like August 1st. This massive
Everything
collapse.
went down.
It's as massive of a collapse as Lowell Mets, because Lowell Mets at one point had the best record in the league in May, and now they're out of the playoffs.
And guess who the best record in the MLB belongs to?
Milwaukee.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I expect Cleveland to honestly sweep Detroit because of how bad Detroit has been. And Cleveland is just that hot.
I don't think they'll sweep them. I think they'll take one. But I
Which
think
one? Game 1 because Skubal pitching?
Game 1 or Game 2 at least.
Game 1 is where Skubal's pitching.
That again, that doesn't matter sometimes. But what I'm going to say is that Cleveland will probably win that series. Now, if we go to Yankee Boston, for example, Boston's going to win all the way.
Oh, yeah, no, Boston's winning that. Is it going to be 2 or 3 games? Because if it's in 2 games, it's because they own the Yankees. But at the same time, if the Yankees were to win 1 game, it's not a surprise because Yankees have gotten hot.
Who has the home field advantage?
It's in New York, but Boston has destroyed Yankee in New York.
Okay.
In fact, I got a funny little thing of audio for when the Yankees lose.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to play it right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, funniest thing ever. And it just keeps going on like that. And at the end, it just goes into standard, like, New York, New York.
You should find something for if the Dodgers lose against the Reds.
Oh, I'll definitely try to find something, but that is one of the funniest things. Now, well, the studio we're able to use this time, because no one's in the building, basically, is the WIBA studio, which makes everything really easy to just slide in audio files while we're just going. And I can just fade it in and out.
So let's go with the DSs now. So let's say
Cleveland, Seattle.
That'll
be a good series.
That'll be a good series. It'll probably go 5.
4 or 5, yeah. Like 5 because Cleveland's hot. But Seattle has won like 4 out of 6 of those games.
So I think Seattle will take it at least in 4, maybe?
4, 5. I would say even 5 because Cleveland is hot.
And then if we go to Boston and Toronto, that'll be a good series.
Yes, that one. Toronto has won the season series 4-2. It all depends on what Boston team shows up because it is against Toronto. It's not the Yankees where they're just going to clobber them.
Right. So I still see Toronto winning it.
You see Toronto winning. I have Seattle winning it. That one will probably go 6 or 7.
Oh no! I'm sorry. We're still talking about the DS, right?
Oh, we're talking about the ALCS. Yeah, the DS. No, Toronto's winning that.
Toronto's winning that. Look, we haven't talked about the NLDS or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dodgers and Phillies. Who do you got?
On my bracket, I have picked Philly each and every time.
We both picked Philly because we don't want to see the Dodgers in the World Series.
And it's like I don't want to see Philly either because they did win it in 2008. I want anyone who has won it no later than like 2000. I want those teams to be in the World Series.
That'd be nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if it's Seattle and Milwaukee, what everybody wants.
Oh yeah, that most people want that matchup.
So, and now let's talk about the Cubs and the Brewers first.
That before we go over my bracket?
Before we go...
Because all my brackets have San Diego going against Milwaukee.
Yeah, let's talk about the Cubs and the Brewers first. Statistically, the Brewers and the Cubs do have a good matchup. I don't think... Who's won majority of that series? Brewers?
The Cubs have won 1 extra game, but one of those extra games came from a magical snow cone that the Cubs second baseman did at the end of the game. Otherwise, that would have been a base that probably would have put Milwaukee ahead.
So if I think statistically, Milwaukee will probably win that series.
It'll go 5. And like Milwaukee and Chicago have had the best series for the past 10 years between the two teams.
And remember, Milwaukee will have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs.
Yep.
Because they have the best record in the league.
Yes.
So if we go NLCS, Milwaukee versus Philly.
Yep.
I know we want everything to be Milwaukee, but statistically, I feel like it's going to be Philly.
Yeah, and if you look at the series, like the season series between the two, Milwaukee owned and has the better record and beat more games that Philly won against Milwaukee. However, that was they swept Philly when Harper was injured, but when Harper came back, Milwaukee only won one of those games.
And if we see a pattern with the Milwaukee Brewers, they usually get out in the division series or the championship series. They never make it to the World Series.
Like the last time they did, they lost in 7 against St. Louis, and that was in 82.
And that was in 82.
That's 40-some years ago. The teams do not correlate with each other. They're completely separate entities.
Correct. And then if we go to the ALCS, Toronto versus Seattle.
Now the Cleveland-Seattle series that's going to go I guess we said 4 or 5 games. But
I swear, if Cleveland wins it,
done.
I'm done.
Well, Seattle and Toronto, I have Seattle winning.
I would also have Seattle winning. They're the underdogs in this series.
Well, it's and with Seattle though, there's a lot of teams that even the Vegas odds puts them as second most likely to win the World Series this year.
Here's my thing. If we can get the Dodgers out and we can get the Yankees out, I'll be fine. Boston's next. I'm sorry, Will, if you're listening to this. I'm not a Boston fan. I'm more of a Brewers fan and a White Sox fan. But statistically speaking, Boston will probably not win against Toronto.
Yeah, and although, let's be real, we would like a Milwaukee-Boston World Series because then we get to go. But for watching purposes, I would love a Milwaukee-Seattle.
Right.
Now, it could also very well be Toronto versus Seattle. That would also be not Toronto versus Seattle because that's ALCS. Toronto versus Milwaukee World Series. That would be also a good series.
I was about to say Toronto versus Milwaukee would be an interesting and very, very good series.
Yes.
It'll probably go at least 6 games.
Yes. Milwaukee versus Seattle, that will likely go 6.
If anything, there's not much I could predict for the championship.
NLCS is literally just
it's basically
6-7 games guaranteed.
It's basically if Milwaukee makes it past the Dodgers or the Phillies, then that's game. Then you pray and hope they win the World Series.
Well, you'd think that the World Series winner is most likely out of the NL because of how mid the AL has been this year. Look at how chaotic the AL has been.
It might surprise you because you still got Seattle and Toronto.
Seattle and Toronto with how hot Cleveland has been. So, yeah, I suppose.
If you think about it, there hasn't been a champion out of the AL since, let me think.
Thinking. Gears turning.
Washington was NL, right?
Washington was NL, yes.
Okay.
Well, the Nationals are NL.
Hold on. Let's go back. So Texas.
Yep, that was in 23.
Which is NL.
Texas was AL.
Okay, so that's the last time they won it.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been that far that the AL has won it.
Correct.
I'm not gonna say the last time the NL won it because it's
Ohtani.
Ohtani.
It's just called Ohtani the series. And Judge being the biggest playoff choker on the planet.
I forget.
Which is, again, why I have this going. Because, it's Judge being in the playoffs. He disappears like a ghost.
Also, Cal Riley basically stole the MVP from Judge.
Well, the thing is, the vote is actually ended up being very close because the vote's due today due to playoff games being tomorrow. They got the ballot last week, Sunday. And
how close are we?
Well, I figure the first place vote is going to come down to 2 or 3, most likely because of how razor thin it is. A lot of people are picking Judge because he holds most of the offensive numbers. And the reason why Cal is as close as he is because he is the first catcher to hit 60 home runs, first switch hitter to hit 60 home runs.
Did he end at 60 or 61?
He ended at 60.
Okay.
Judge home run record is 62, but some say that's one of his worst MVP seasons. And with Cal, he hit 247, 245, something like that. while Judge hit like 330. Judge has hit 53 home runs this year, but Cal also is a catcher with Gold Glove or Platinum Glove defense, and no catcher has ever done that. No. So when you go historical and fun, they'd pick Cal. If they go by pure offensive statistical numbers, which are easier to measure than defensive ones, then Judge would win it by, again, like a vote or two, maybe three. I personally like Cal, but because of Judge only being out for like 2.5 weeks.
Cal's also young.
Yeah, and Judge is like 33, 34, and is one of the best offensive hitters of our generation. If Judge was hurt the rest of the year, then during the trade deadline, the Yankees said, like, oh, yeah, we were prepared to sell at the deadline if Judge wasn't going to be able to come back because the Yankees are absolutely horrendous without Judge.
Right.
So it's like that's where it's kind of hard to guess. We won't know what the final vote total is until after the playoffs, but by the end of the day today, the votes will have finished being casted.
Right, and we won't know that until the end of the playoffs.
Correct, and we are not a part of the Writers Association, so we don't have a vote.
Right.
Although we both would have voted Cal.
Right.
I know others, like I've listened to, said like, hey, if Cal hits 60, I'll switch my vote over to Cal. But then I've heard others who are like, hey, if I had a vote, I would vote Judge or I'd vote Cal, but I'm not a part of the voting crew for MVP this year. And those are people who are part of the Writers Association. Like Jeff Passan has voted MVP before, but he's not voting it this year. And he is a believer that Judge is probably going to win it, but barely. And we know how reliable Passan is.
Right.
But then there's others who are saying it's razor thin close.
We all know that who the NL Cy Young will go to.
The Paul Skeens. He finished with under a 2 ERA with I think his end of season record, which record doesn't matter because that just shows you how much run support a pitcher gets.
Again,
is like 500, game under 500. Hundo.
Again, great pitcher, terrible team.
Oh, and then Ohtani's just MVP by default because Ohtani does Ohtani things, and he is the best player, like current living player who's active.
Yep.
Like period. Like there's no questions asked, and they're like, hey, Schwarber could get it because he hit more home runs, and Schwarber is not going to win it, guys.
No.
Cal has had at least 50 strikeouts this year, hitting like his batting average went down because of he was pitching, but he hit 55 home runs. It's Ohtani.
Right.
End of story.
End of story. I don't think there's anything else.
No, I don't have anything else either. You can find us on the 3 major platforms. We encourage, like, obviously, like, download. It helps us out a lot and get towards goals we would like to hit. If you listen, well, and not download, like, we appreciate it. We do appreciate it. The subscribers on YouTube, if you want to do that, you're welcome to. That's where you can find exclusive videos for the Glenwood Moravian Trombone Choir, where I hand select pieces. We have a Discord that's not really in use, but if you wanted to make like that active, you're welcome to. You can follow us on Twitter or X, wherever you prefer to call it, at Let's Chat BT. Same thing for the Gmail, is Let's Chat GPT at gmail.com. Join the Facebook community group, follow the Facebook announcement page, so that way we can get some interaction. We love having interaction. It's more enjoyable that way. Mm-hmm. And I don't really got much else besides that. Do you?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in for Just Before Playoffs. Playoffs do start on the 30th at around noon.
And we'll probably do another pod episode
within the next week or two, and then we're going to be going to bi-weekly for the more fun format,
right? Where
we do like current events, other sports news, video game news. Actually, I saw like a couple of interesting news articles recently, which I'll compile or try to send that off like for show notes,
right?
And then also perhaps get someone who could potentially talk about some cultural things going on in society.
Right, and just make sure to root for the Brewers, and they will be playing on Saturday once the wild card teams have been dealt with.
Yeah. Oh, and that reminds me of one last thing. The times for the games. The Boston Yankees get the night game for the wild card series for the AL side.
They have prime time.
I like to say the Dodgers have it for the NL. You're double checking. Okay. And then for the And then once it hits the division series, how it typically works is the higher seed you are, the more likely you are to have the night game.
Every other.
Yeah, every other.
So Dodgers are 9:08 Eastern, so it's 8:08
Yep.
our time. So they have the latest game out of all of them.
Yes.
The earliest game is Detroit and Cleveland at 12:08.
No one wants to watch Detroit. That's why I put it there.
No. San Diego and the Cubs are at 2:08. This is all Central Time, just so you know. Boston and the Yankees are at 5:08, and 8:08 is the Dodgers.
The division series times haven't been announced yet, but I have a feeling that Milwaukee's going to have the night games because they are the number one seed.
Right. So, and that's basically all the times up until the division series. So, again, Brewers fans, we'll see you at the game one of the division series against either the Padres or the Cubs. And hopefully we can make it to the World Series and win it for Bob Uecker.
Hey, ta-ta.